Hi friends, it's story time. Today I'm going to read you the book Don't Say a Word, Mamá. In Spanish, No digas nada, mamá. And the author is Joe Ace, and the story is illustrated by Esau Andrade Valencia. And this is the second time I'm going to read this story about two sisters who help a lot each other. And they share their food. They plant food in their gardens and then they share that food. And today we are going to notice more details about this story, a new word, and at the end we will have new questions about the story. And I will read this story also in Spanish if you prefer to listen it in Spanish. I will make a new video in Spanish, because this is a bilingual book, you see. In the title, we have the title in English and also in Spanish. In English is Don't Say a Word, Mamá, and in Spanish is No digas nada, mamá. And then the book is the same story told in both languages. Here we have the English version. Rosa and Blanca were sisters, and here we have the Spanish version. Rosa y Blanca eran hermanas in Spanish, and this book has two languages, English and Spanish. Rosa and Blanca were sisters, and they loved each other very much. If their mother sent Rosa to the store to buy flour or for tortillas, Blanca would say, "Wait, Rosa, I'll go with you." If their mother told Blanca to sweep the sidewalk in front of the house, Rosa would say, "Wait, Blanca, I'll help you sweep." Their mother was very proud of them. She would always say, "My daughters are so good to each other. I must be the luckiest mother in this town. No, I'm the luckiest mother in this country. No, I think I'm the luckiest mother in the whole wide world." When Rosa grew up, she got married. She and her husband had 3 children. She lived with her family in a little house just down the street from her mother. When Blanca grew up, she didn't get married. She lived alone in a little house just up the street from her mother. One year, each sister planted a garden. They planted corn and tomatoes and good hot chiles. When the tomatoes were fat and ripe, Rosa helped Blanca pick the tomatoes in her garden. Then Blanca helped Rosa pick her tomatoes. Of course, Rosa took some of her tomatoes to her old mother, and then she told her, "My poor sister Blanca lives all alone. She has no one to help her. I have a husband and 3 helpful children. I'm going to give half of my potatoes to my sister. But it will be a surprise. Don't say a word, Mama. Don't say a word." Of course, Blanca took some of her tomatoes to her old mother too. And she told her, "My poor sister Rosa has a husband and 3 children. There are 5 to feed in our house. I have only myself. I'm going to give half of my tomatoes to my sister, but it will be a surprise. Don't say a word, Mama." You see, Rosa and Blanca are doing the same thing. They want to share with their other sister. Rosa wants to give food to Blanca, and Blanca wants to give food to Rosa. But they want to keep it secret, so they say, "Don't say a word, Mama. Don't say it's a surprise. It will be a surprise. It's our secret. It will be a surprise for my sister. Late that night, Rosa filled a basket with tomatoes. She started toward Blanca's house. Blanca filled the basket with tomatoes and started towards Rosa's house. The night was dark. The sisters didn't see each other when they passed right in front of their mother's house. Rosa added her tomatoes to the pile of tomatoes in Blanca's kitchen. Blanca added her tomatoes to the pile in Rosa's kitchen. Oh, and I have here, it's a note for myself because we have a word that I want to say what it means. So I put this sticky note for myself. The next morning, Rosa looked at her pile of tomatoes. Híjole! And this is the word that I want to talk to you about. Híjole, it's a Spanish word that means I'm surprised. It's like in English, wow! That's what it means, híjole. And that's what is Rosa saying. The next morning, Rosa looked at her pile of tomatoes. Híjole, she said. How can I have so many tomatoes? Did my tomatoes have babies during the night? I'd better give some more of these tomatoes to my mother. The next morning, Blanca looked at her pile of tomatoes. Híjole! It means, wow, she was surprised too. She said, how can I have so many tomatoes? Did they all get so fat that they divided in two? I'd better give some more of these tomatoes to my mother. And see what happens next. Mama now had a very big pile of tomatoes in her kitchen. She shrugged her shoulders. Shrugged is to do like this. She shrugged her shoulders. Oh well, she said, you can never have too many tomatoes. When the ears of corn were firm and full, Rosa helped Blanca pick her corn. Then Blanca helped Rosa pick hers. Rosa took some of her corn to her mother. She told her, I'm going to give half of my corn to Blanca. It will be a surprise. Don't say a word, Mama. It will be a surprise. Blanca took some of her corn to her mother. She told her, I'm going to give half of my corn to Rosa. It will be a surprise. Don't say a word, Mama. You see, they are making a surprise. That's why they want secret from their mama. Don't say a word. It's a secret. Each sister filled the basket with corn. That night, Rosa went to Blanca's house. Blanca went to Rosa's house. The night was dark. The sisters didn't see each other when they passed right in front of their mother's house. Rosa added her corn to the corn in Blanca's house. Blanca added her corn to the corn in Rosa's house. They are sharing their corn now. The next day, Rosa said, Híjole! It means, what a surprise! Wow! How can I have so much corn? Did each ear invite a friend to spend the night? I'll take some more corn to Mama. The next day, Blanca said, Híjole! How can I have so much corn? Did each ear get married and bring home a wife? I'll take some more corn to Mama. Their mother now had a very big pile of corn in her kitchen, but she shrugged and said, oh well, you can never have too much corn. When the chilies turned red and hot on the plants, Rosa and Blanca helped each other with the picking. Rosa took some of her chilies to her mother. I'm going to give half of my chilies to Blanca, she said. Don't say a word, Mama. Blanca took some of her chilies to her mother. I'm going to give half of my chilies to Rosa, she said. Don't say a word, Mama. That night, each sister filled a basket with chilies and started toward the one's house. The night was dark. The sisters didn't see each other when they passed right in front of their mother's house. But, what comes next? But suddenly the sidewalk lit up like 1,000 cameras all flashing at once. There were light bulbs in the trees. There were light bulbs in the bushes. There were light bulbs on the porch. Light came pouring out of the windows of the house. And out of the door of the house came Mamma, banging the bottom of her puzzle pot with a big wooden spoon. Oh, Mamma was making some noise for her sisters. Híjole, said Rosa, and threw up her hands. Híjole, said Blanca. Híjole means, wow, what a surprise. Híjole, said Rosa, and threw up her hands. Híjole, said Blanca, and threw up her hands too. Red chilies went flying in every direction, like we see in the pictures. Rosa said, Mama, what are you doing up at this hour of night? And asked Blanca, why are you waking up the whole neighborhood with that racket? Well, said Mamma, I promised you both I wouldn't say a word. But I had to do something. You know, you can never have too many tomatoes, and you can never have too much corn. But what was I going to do with all those odd chilies? What are you talking about? Asked the sisters, and then each one noticed the other one's basket. They figured out what had been going on. Rosa laughed and said, now I know why I still ate so many tomatoes. And Blanca laughed and said, now I know why I still ate so much corn. It was because they weren't giving those products one to each other. Mama laughed and said, and I know why I always say my daughters are so good to each other. I must be the luckiest man in town. No, no, I'm the luckiest mama in the country. No, I'm the luckiest mama in the old wide world. See, this is the end of the story of this happy family. They share everything. And now I have two questions for you, and I would like to listen to your answers. How do you think Mama felt each time she received food from her daughters? What do you think Mother was feeling when she was receiving food from Rosa to Blanca and food from Blanca to Rosa and food from both of them after they pick up their plants, their fruits, their products? And the other question is, why doesn't Mama ask Rosa and Blanca to stop giving her so much food? Why does she not stop? Why she keeps receiving food from both sisters? And this was our story for today. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye, my friend. Bye bye.